Hey everyone, welcome back to Nueroboost Hub, where we unlock your mind's full potential. Today, I'm going to delve into something truly foundational, something that, if implemented consistently, can profoundly shift your cognitive landscape. We're talking about 7 daily habits that can literally rewire your brain for better memory, deeper focus, and sharper thinking. Want to think faster, remember more, and stay focused for hours? These 7 habits will rewire your brain for peak performance. These aren't quick fixes or biohacks in the superficial sense. Rather, they are fundamental adjustments to your daily rhythm that leverage your brain's inherent neuroplasticity. The human brain is an incredibly dynamic organ, constantly adapting and changing based on our experiences, behaviors, and environment. The habits we cultivate are, in essence, instructions we provide to our neural circuitry. By understanding the underlying mechanisms, how specific actions influence neurochemical release, neural pathway strength, and even structural changes in the brain, we can consciously choose habits that optimize its function. Today, we're not just listing habits, we're exploring the science behind why they work, empowering you with the knowledge to make informed decisions about your cognitive health and overall well-being. I encourage you to approach this information with an open mind and a willingness to experiment. Not every habit will be easy to implement immediately, but even small, consistent steps can lead to significant improvements over time. We'll break down each habit, discuss the neurobiological principles at play, and provide actionable, practical tips you can integrate into your life starting today. And make sure you stick till the end, because habit number 7, while perhaps seemingly obvious, is often the most neglected and arguably the most impactful for sustained cognitive enhancement. The very first habit, and one I often emphasize due to its profound and widespread effects, is morning sunlight exposure. Specifically, I'm talking about getting direct sunlight into your eyes within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking. This isn't about staring directly at the sun, which can be harmful, but rather about being outside without sunglasses, allowing the photons from sunlight to stimulate specialized cells in your retina called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, or iPRGCs. These cells communicate directly with the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your brain's master circadian clock. This morning light exposure triggers a cascade of neurochemical events. One of the most immediate and beneficial is a healthy spike in dopamine. Dopamine is often misunderstood as purely a pleasure molecule, but it's fundamentally involved in motivation, drive, and focus. That morning rise in dopamine initiated by light sets a positive tone for your day, enhancing your ability to engage in goal-directed behavior and maintain alertness. Beyond dopamine, morning sunlight is crucial for anchoring your circadian rhythm. This internal 24-hour clock governs countless physiological processes, including your sleep-wake cycle, hormone release, metabolism, and critically, your alertness and cognitive function throughout the day. By getting that early light exposure, you're sending a powerful signal to your brain that the day has begun, which helps to synchronize all these internal rhythms. The practical application is simple. Aim for 10 to 30 minutes of outdoor light exposure soon after waking. If it's a very bright, sunny day, 10 minutes might suffice. On overcast days, you'll want to extend that to 20 or even 30 minutes, as the cloud cover significantly reduces the lux intensity. The key is consistency. The second habit we'll explore is providing your brain with the specific nutrients it needs to function optimally. It's a common understanding that our physical body requires good nutrition, but the brain, despite being only about 2% of our body weight, is an incredibly energy-hungry organ, consuming roughly 20% of our total daily energy expenditure. This immense energy demand is primarily to fuel the constant electrical and chemical signaling between its billions of neurons. Therefore, what you eat directly impacts your cognitive abilities, including memory, focus, and processing speed. Certain foods are particularly rich in compounds that support brain health. For instance, walnuts are a fantastic source of alpha-linolenic acid, a type of omega-3 fatty acid, as well as antioxidants and polyphenols. These components are known to combat oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which can impair neuronal function and contribute to cognitive decline over time. Similarly, blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, a class of flavonoids that have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and exert neuroprotective effects, enhancing neuronal communication and promoting neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, and EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, are critical structural components of neuronal cell membranes. They play a vital role in maintaining membrane fluidity, which is essential for efficient neurotransmission. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are excellent sources of DHA and EPA. For those following plant-based diets, flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds are good sources of ALA, which the body can convert to EPA and DHA, albeit less efficiently. Ensuring an adequate intake of these healthy fats is paramount for long-term brain health and immediate cognitive function. Your brain doesn't just need fats, it also relies heavily on a steady supply of glucose, its primary fuel source. However, the type and timing of carbohydrate intake matter. Complex carbohydrates found in whole grains, legumes, and vegetables provide a slow, sustained release of glucose, preventing the sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar that can lead to mental fog and fatigue. The third habit is a crucial one in our age of constant digital bombardment, engaging in focused, deep work and consciously avoiding the trap of multitasking. Your brain, despite its incredible complexity, is fundamentally designed to perform best when it concentrates its resources on a single task at a time. When you attempt to multitask, for example, writing an email while listening to a podcast and intermittently checking social media, you're not actually doing those things simultaneously. Instead, your brain is rapidly switching its attention between them. This rapid task switching comes at a significant cognitive cost. Each switch incurs what neuroscientists call a switch cost, which includes a loss of time and a decrease in accuracy. The prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for executive functions like planning, decision-making, and working memory, becomes overloaded. This leads to increased mental fatigue, a higher likelihood of errors, and ironically, a reduction in overall productivity. The feeling of being busy when multitasking is often an illusion. You're typically accomplishing less, and at a lower quality. Deep work, a term popularized by Cal Newport, refers to the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's during these periods of intense concentration that you produce your best work, learn complex information, and make significant breakthroughs. Cultivating the ability to enter and sustain states of deep work is becoming an increasingly valuable skill in a world that constantly vies for our attention. It requires training your brain to resist distractions and maintain focus for extended periods. One highly effective technique to facilitate deep work is the Pomodoro technique. This time management method involves breaking your work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes in length called pomodoros, separated by short breaks of around 5 minutes. After 4 pomodoros, you take a longer break, perhaps 15 to 30 minutes. Our fourth habit shifts our focus inward, the practice of meditation or mindfulness. In a world that constantly demands our external attention, deliberately cultivating moments of inner stillness and present moment awareness can have profound benefits for brain structure and function. Meditation is not about emptying your mind or stopping thoughts, but rather about changing your relationship to your thoughts, observing them without judgment, and gently redirecting your attention when it wanders. Neuroscientific research has shown that regular meditation practice can lead to measurable changes in the brain. One of the most well-documented findings is an increase in gray matter density in specific brain regions. These include the hippocampus, which is critical for learning and memory, the posterior cingulate cortex, involved in self-referential processing and mind-wandering, and the temporoparietal junction, associated with empathy and perspective-taking. These structural changes suggest that meditation can literally reshape your brain in ways that support cognitive and emotional well-being. Beyond structural changes, meditation has been shown to improve attentional control. Practices like focused attention meditation, where you concentrate on a single object such as your breath, train your brain's attention networks, including the prefrontal cortex. This enhanced ability to sustain attention and resist distractions translates directly to improved focus in daily tasks and a greater capacity for deep work, which we discussed in the previous habit. It's like taking your brain to the gym for an attention workout. Even short, consistent periods of meditation can make a difference. You don't need to meditate for an hour a day to reap the benefits. The fifth habit we're focusing on is the continuous engagement in daily learning and reading. The adage "use it or lose it" is particularly true for the brain. Engaging in novel learning experiences and consistently challenging your cognitive faculties is essential for maintaining brain plasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This process strengthens existing pathways and creates new ones, enhancing cognitive reserve and overall brain function. Learning new things, whether it's a new language, a musical instrument, a complex skill, or simply acquiring new knowledge through reading, stimulates various regions of the brain. This stimulation promotes the production of neurotrophic factors such as brain-derived neurotrophic factor or BDNF, which acts like a fertilizer for neurons, supporting their growth, survival, and differentiation. Higher levels of BDNF are associated with improved memory, learning capacity, and a reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Reading in particular is a powerful cognitive workout. It requires sustained attention, comprehension, imagination, and the integration of new information with existing knowledge. Different types of reading material can exercise different cognitive functions. For example, reading fiction can enhance empathy and theory of mind, while reading non-fiction or scientific articles can improve analytical thinking and problem-solving skills. The act of processing written language itself is a complex neural task. The practical tip here is to aim to read for at least 10 to 20 pages daily, or to listen to an informative podcast or audiobook, perhaps during your commute or while exercising like on a walk. The key is to make it a consistent habit. Choose subjects that genuinely interest you, as intrinsic motivation plays a significant role in learning and memory retention. Our sixth habit addresses a modern challenge that profoundly impacts our cognitive function: the need for regular digital detox and dedicated screen-free time. We live in an era of unprecedented connectivity, where smartphones, computers, and tablets provide a constant stream of information, notifications, and potential distractions. While these tools offer immense benefits, their overuse can lead to cognitive overload, fragmented attention, and increased stress, all of which are detrimental to peak brain performance. The human brain is not designed for the relentless barrage of stimuli that modern digital devices often deliver. Constant notifications from social media, emails, and news apps trigger a reactive state, pulling our attention away from deeper, more focused cognitive tasks. This frequent context switching, as we discussed earlier, depletes mental energy and reduces our capacity for sustained concentration. Our brains need periods of stillness and uninterrupted focus to process information effectively and engage in higher-order thinking. Implementing a digital detox doesn't necessarily mean abandoning technology altogether. Rather, it's about consciously creating boundaries and intentionally scheduling periods of disconnection. A powerful practical tip is to designate at least one no-screen hour daily. This could be the first hour after waking, an hour before bed, which we'll discuss more in the next habit, or a dedicated block during your workday when you need to focus deeply. During this time, put your devices away, preferably out of sight, to minimize temptation. The benefits of such screen-free periods are numerous. It allows your brain to recover from the constant stimulation, reducing mental fatigue. It creates space for other activities that are beneficial for cognitive health, such as reflection, creative thinking, engaging in hobbies, or connecting with loved ones in person. Finally, we arrive at habit number 7, which I consider to be absolutely non-negotiable for optimal brain performance and overall health: treating your sleep as sacred. Sleep is not a passive state of inactivity or a luxury to be sacrificed in the name of productivity. It is a critical biological imperative during which your brain performs essential maintenance, cleansing, and memory consolidation processes that are impossible to achieve during wakefulness. Neglecting sleep is akin to trying to run a high-performance engine without ever changing the oil or allowing it to cool down. One of the most remarkable discoveries in recent years is the glymphatic system, which is a kind of waste clearance system for the brain. This system is predominantly active during deep sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid flushes through the brain tissue, clearing out metabolic byproducts and toxins that accumulate during waking hours, including beta-amyloid plaques, which are associated with Alzheimer's disease. Insufficient or poor quality sleep impairs this cleansing process, leading to a buildup of these neurotoxic substances, which can negatively impact cognitive function and long-term brain health. Beyond cleansing, sleep plays a pivotal role in memory consolidation. During sleep, particularly during specific stages like slow-wave sleep and REM, rapid eye movement sleep, the brain replays, processes, and strengthens newly acquired memories, transferring them from the hippocampus, short-term storage, to the neocortex, long-term storage. This is why you might find that you understand a concept better, or can recall information more easily after a good night's sleep. Without adequate sleep, this crucial consolidation process is severely hampered, making learning less efficient and memory retention weaker. The practical tip here is twofold. First, aim for a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends, to support your natural circadian rhythm. Second, and critically, avoid screens, phones, tablets, computers, televisions, for at least 1 hour, and ideally 90 minutes, before your intended bedtime. The blue light emitted from these devices suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to sleep, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing sleep quality. So those were the 7 daily habits to boost your brain every single day. From harnessing morning sunlight to prioritizing sacred sleep, each of these practices plays a distinct yet interconnected role in optimizing your neural architecture and neurochemical balance. Implementing them consistently won't just lead to transient improvements, it can fundamentally rewire your brain for sustained peak performance, enhancing your ability to think faster, remember more, and maintain focus for extended periods. Which one will you start today? Comment below. Remember, the journey to a supercharged brain is not about perfection, but about consistent effort and gradual integration. You don't have to implement all 7 habits overnight. Perhaps start with 1 or 2 that resonate most with you or address an area where you feel the most need. As you begin to experience the benefits, the increased clarity, the sharper focus, the improved mood, you'll naturally be motivated to incorporate more. The key is to build momentum and make these practices an integral part of your lifestyle. And hey, if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Nueroboost Hub for more brain upgrades every week. Your engagement helps us reach more people who are looking to unlock their mind's full potential. We're committed to bringing you science-backed strategies and actionable insights to help you thrive. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.